Mm-mm. Here we go. Live on a humid Saturday. Hello, Internet. Hi. Katie here. Let me, I actually need to put something on my monitor or I will not be looking at you. How are you? So my sharing for this evening is around the practices of emotional alchemy. I think I was introduced to them a little bit more than 20 years ago. So I've been working with this for about 20 years. And then also some yin yoga. And I have been specialized in yin for, she looks for the timeline. I'm going to say 12 years now, maybe 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there. And rather than go into many details with specific regards to these emotional alchemy practices, I would like to guide you through them. So rather than 2 hours, this might be more like an hour and 15 minutes. And so if you'd like, a couple things you can do to set yourself up. First is make sure that you have a way to hear me. So if I'm streaming through your computer, through your phone, however you're listening, and if you would like a second source or some kind of soundtrack, find a piece of music or a streaming station that you enjoy that is mellow, and preferably without words. And we don't need any music. This is all to the breath. As we move through this practice this evening, eventually you'll end up on the floor. So if you need to grab a pillow, a blanket, a mat, a strap, a yoga block, whatever it is, go ahead and grab that. And as everybody watching this is moving towards center, moving towards together, I will offer this that I made. It says love. And so you can look at this once you get settled now. And begin to breathe any way that works for you. It can be through your nose, through your mouth, deep, shallow, whatever way works. As you settle in here now, sitting comfortably with your spine as lifted as you're able to, in whatever shape you're in, go ahead and close your eyes. If your eyes prefer to be open, keep them gentle, keep them soft and open, closed, or somewhere in between, to have the focus almost like you're squinting towards the horizon. Go ahead and bring the tip of your tongue to the ridge behind your upper teeth. That's your hard palate. Right there. And if it's appropriate, you can let your lips gently soften together. If they want to be open, go ahead and leave your lips open. Try to relax your jaw now. Soften. So what I'd like to do is guide you through the basic practices of the internal smile and the 6 healing sounds. We'll do a whole yin practice and then a more formal exploration of these internally alchemical practices. So for the internal smile, just to get a taste of it right now, to find a place to focus your eyes. So if your eyes are open, again, it's in the horizon, gentle. If your eyes are closed, imagine as well you are looking towards the horizon, gentle. Tip of the tongue on the ridge behind the upper teeth. This completes a circuit of energy in the body, which is referred to, as I've been taught, as the microcosmic orbit. It's that same place you used to put your thumb when you were a baby. Same place, nipple, bottle, feeding, baby, comfort. And to start to now smile a little bit. Gentle smile. And this smile is the light through which your attention will shift in your body towards the body as we now start to move through these breathing exercises. You don't need to believe it. It's to do the practice of attention with intention. And so first, to smile towards your lungs now. And while you might feel your body breathing, chest and belly, walk your attention behind there, more towards your back. And smile to your lungs. They are the organ of respiration. Breathing in and out. The paired emotions to the lungs in this system, in this perspective, are grief and courage. And the practice is to breathe in courage and to breathe out grief. It doesn't need to be towards anything specific. The sound is breathing in courage, letting go of grief with skeptical mind starts speaking, and you keep breathing in courage and letting go of grief. You might even experiment with making your exhales as quiet as can be. Coming back to your usual for your breath. If you need to move a little bit, if you need to stretch, to go there, to just let it be. Pardon me. And then attention walks to the kidneys, which are underneath the lungs, again, towards the back of your torso. Seat of shock, of surprise. Also the seat of calm, still, and alert. And the sound is chu, C-H-O, chu. So on the inhale, imagine taking in calm, still alertness, and on the exhale, chu. Letting go of anxiety. Doesn't need to be specific. Back to your breath. So this is just to get you experiencing these breathing exercises, these alchemical exercises. After the kidneys is your liver. I'm going to assume that I am mirrored to you. So your liver is on the right side. This is the seat of envy, of anger. This is also the seat of generosity and of forgiveness. And the sound is shh, almost like shh, shh. So with that internal smile, you might find burping happening. And that's okay. Quiet exhaling. Again, doesn't need to be to anything specific, just to be in that. Taking in forgiveness and envy and anger. Over towards the spleen, which is right above your stomach. That is on your left side. Actually, let's go up to the heart next then. It's a nicer circuit. So the heart, your actual beating muscle. Seat of love and hate. And the sound is as though you're fogging up a mirror. So you can imagine taking in love and compassion and sincerity, authenticity. And then with the cruelty, hatred, violence. Again, doesn't need to be towards anybody or anything specific. So that's your ha sound. And now to the stomach, to the spleen. Spleen sits above stomach. This is the seat of worry, of rumination, of if you've had moments where you're almost stuck in a loop with your thoughts. And then the balance to that is trust. And if God is something or someone to which you relate, it would also be faith. And the sound is like wind coming through a tunnel, or like the first sound in chutzpah, or like an owl. So more towards the back of the throat. You don't need to believe it. It's just to practice and pay attention. So inhaling trust and faith, exhaling worry, rumination with and again, I'll guide you through these at the end of the yin practice. The sixth and final breath here, it doesn't map to a specific organ. It maps to what is referred to as the triple warmer. And I'm just looking to see if I can get myself in frame. So triple warmer is basically your torso. So from right above the pubis to the collarbone, pericardium, right? So like the whole part of you that encases all of those organs in your torso that keep you alive. And also the organs that get the blood flow when big stress occurs, whether the response is due to a stimulus that's internal or external. And the sound to cool the hot head and to warm up the cold feet is he. You are not a hissing cat right now. You're just very easily, very gently and I'd like to give you a minute or more to find your way towards a place that's comfortable. So my suggestion is the floor. I'm going to move my computer so you can see me better. And then now to begin a more specific yin practice. And yin in this context has to do with being still, not necessarily with being a statue. So if you need to move or adjust or shift, use the restroom, like whatever you need, you do that. And when I'm facilitating in this context, I have two rules. The first rule is you gotta breathe. Nose, mouth, doesn't matter how, be breathing. Second rule is you're in charge. So if I make a suggestion that is clearly not going to work, or doesn't feel good or works for a time but not for the whole time, it's perfectly fine to come out of the shape, to adjust, to leave early from the shape, you know, like whatever you need. Okay? All right. So go ahead and lie down on your back and come into constructive rest position. So constructive rest position, you'll lie down on your back with your knees bent and your feet on the floor, and I'll show you in just a moment. You might see me looking at my watch here. That's literally me keeping time. And if you need to adjust your arms to find some expansion in your upper back, that's fine. Your eyes can be open or closed, doesn't matter. And there's no particular breath. So right now, in this moment with me, listening to my voice, to look for some kind of way that you can breathe that is available. And whatever way is available for you right now, that is the right way. Feeling for softening in the low belly, softening in the perineum. So that's that area between your anus and your genitals. Might not feel soft, that's fine. Just look for softening. And if it's uncomfortable or inappropriate to put your attention there, to put your attention elsewhere now. And still looking for softening somewhere. Maybe your hands, maybe your forehead, maybe your nose. And can you feel that connection between the back of you and the ground? And right now, the back of you is the soles of your feet, the back line of your torso, the part of your head that's touching the ground, and any parts of your arms that are touching the ground. Feel that connection. And if you can't feel it, feel for it, look for it. Can you relax a little bit more now? One of the attitudes of yin is an attitude of yielding, an attitude of flow, an attitude of ease. And for me, when I'm facilitating, that means you are under no obligation to stay anywhere in your body with a shape that isn't working in the moment. And so from here, go ahead and extend your legs on the ground, reach your arms over your head, arms on the ground. Depending on your shoulders, arms may end up over your head. Stuff might want to expand. Your legs might want to expand. So just relating to the ground in a little bit different way, and notice, you might notice that your legs are rotating out a little bit, so your pinky toes are a little bit closer to the floor than your big toes. Doesn't have to be that, and it might be. You might also notice how now your hands are relaxing, fingers curling in. Listening to the sounds in the room that you're in. So if you've put music on, listening to that, maybe listening to a fan or your air conditioning or a car driving past, whatever you can hear, your breath. And the knees soften a little bit more now. And so as I start to name and describe shapes that have a little bit more skeleton to them, to bring with you this, right? So it's a sigh, it's a relax, it's open. And that may mean that the shape you end up in isn't as big as your full range of motion. So bringing your hands to the outside of your thighs, use your arms to bring your legs in. And if you'd like to start to move a little bit on your back, moving your legs. I can't see you, so I am trusting you to be mindful of you. Because the focus of this evening's stream is emotional alchemy and yin yoga, I will be offering a little bit of movement, which is slightly away from yin as it's taught in the States, as I understand it. So coming to a comfortable seat. Comfort for you might mean sitting on something. And to let your legs be however they want to be. Palms of the hands towards the body. And if you can, to feel for, this is inside, to feel for sits bones plugging into whatever you're sitting on. Shoulders just about stacked over the hips, ears just about stacked over the shoulders. Does this mean perfect posture? No. Rather, it's to elongate the spine, to lift through the central channel. And then bringing the tip of the tongue to that ridge behind your upper teeth towards the hard palate, completing the microcosmic orbit, then brings the energy around the central channel. So slightly different approach than Kundalini, if that is a word you're familiar with. And if it's not, no worries. And you might notice as you're here, stillness isn't. You might actually be moving. That's okay too. You know, yielding can be bending, allowing. Go ahead and change the cross of your legs. Let your left ear come to your left shoulder and your right arm relax beside you. And the relaxation of your right arm creates a sensation on the left side of your neck. Wait, did I do that wrong? Right ear to right shoulder, left ear to left shoulder. Pick an ear, pick a shoulder. I'm dyslexic. I've got yoga brain happening. So whichever ear is towards your shoulder, the other side is getting a stretch. There we go. To make your way out of this, keep your head heavy. Whichever ear your head is towards, whichever shoulder, bring that same hand to your cheek and use your arm to lift up your head. Take a breath. You can adjust your legs if you'd like, and then taking it over to the other side. And as you're starting to settle in now, to notice thoughts and feelings might arise. You're safe. Feel the parts of your body that are touching solid. So whatever you're sitting on, the ground, if your hand is reaching the ground, and listen. And then hand to your cheek. Use your arm to lift your head up. Take a moment. If you're sitting on something, you can let yourself off of that. I'm going to cue a seated hip opener. If you prefer to take pigeon pose, you're welcome to. For the seated hip opener, to get your feet on the floor, hands behind you, cross an ankle over the thigh. Pigeon folks, I'm trusting you to get there. What I like about this seated version is there's less torque on the bent knee. And the sensation, it's to be looking for feeling upper thigh, outer glute on the bent knee. If you are in pigeon pose, you might also be looking for a little bit of sensation in that extended back leg. This will be a couple minutes. You're looking for that place where you can stay. And sometimes that means moving a little bit, and that's okay. And then moving over to the other side. So bringing your foot to the ground. If you're in the seated hip opener, if you're in pigeon, start to move over to the other side, crossing the other leg. Say hello to my little foot. Find a place where you can stay. And as you're settling in here, I'd like to offer the idea that any yoga can be yin in the sense, particularly with the body, that if the what and the how you are doing is cultivating space, cultivating awareness, cultivating ease, cultivating nurturing, relatively speaking, that's yin. Doesn't need to be opposed to anything. It can be open and available to all the things, well boundaried. And then from here to start to make your way out of this. So if you're in pigeon pose, swing your back leg around front, extend your legs in front of you. If you're sitting as I am, bring your both feet to the floor and extend your legs. Now you might need to put something under your seat to lift the hips up. This will be a little bit of a forward fold or roll. And what I mean by roll is, just trying to see where you can see me, to let the legs be as far apart as they want to go. They'll tell you. Let the head hang a little bit and then round forward. So some of you might know this as caterpillar. Some of you might know this as Padahastasana. Some of you might know this as Paschimottanasana. Some of you might know this as fold forward. Well, the same. They just have different names. With this kind of attitude, this yin attitude, to relax the belly, to round the spine, and then to keep the knees soft. So rather than extending and pulling, it's about rounding and relaxing. This will be another couple of few minutes here. If you'd like to come back to your breath now and notice. Finding a place where you can stay. About another minute here. Gently bring yourself up to a seat. Take a breath. Twist will be seated this evening, so you can extend one leg, cross the other ankle over it, If you're feeling a little bit more bendy this evening, you can bend the knee that's on the floor. So your leg that's crossed over the leg that's on the floor, turn towards that leg. Keeping both sits bones on the ground. And then back into center and switch sides. The full workshop of this, I provide much more context. Here I figure, let's have an experience, let's have a moment. You come back into center. And then rather than making your way into your final resting shape now, come to a seat. So you will end up on your back on the floor. These breathing exercises, the smile, they're going to take a good 10, maybe 12 minutes. So if coming up to a chair feels like it's going to support your body better, my best suggestion is you do that. That's what I will be doing. So just taking your time, definitely have a moment to get there. Make your way to a comfortable seat. And if you are in a chair, to bring your body so that your sits bones are at the edge of the chair, knowing you will end up in a nice relaxation on your back. Making your way to a seat. Close your eyes if it feels appropriate. And just take some comfortable breaths in through your nose and out of your mouth. You might find that your hands want to be somewhere on you. If they do, let that be. Doesn't matter where it is. It's all good. Bringing the tip of your tongue to that ridge behind your upper teeth, the hard palate. If your eyes are closed, feel them soften. If your eyes are open, soften your gaze, and to come into your inner smile. And that means that you're smiling towards yourself. And self here, that's your body, your actual physical self. You might feel a little uncomfortable, might feel like reaching. It's okay. Just have the aim. And if you're able to bring your attention to the spot in the middle of your forehead, maybe even a couple inches in front of that, and smile. And your breath can be however it is. And attention at that same general level into the center of your brain. Imagine it and smile there now. Letting attention drop down to your sternum, to your chest, to the area where your heart is, your actual beating heart. And smile. And with this inner smile, attention drops down into the belly. Belly hara, some of you might know it, and you are a couple inches below the belly button and into the abdomen. Imagining and smile. Seat of self. And thoughts arise because your mind is doing its job. That's fine. When you notice that you're following those thoughts with your attention, find your body. Feel whatever you're grounded on, whatever you're sitting on, whatever's touching the ground, and breathe. And what can you hear? With this inner smile, bringing your attention to your lungs. Intention here is to transform grief into courage with the sound S. So inhaling courage, whatever that is, even if you don't know, imagine it. Exhaling quiet. Three breaths here. or if you're a little ahead of me. Tongue back to the ridge behind the upper teeth. Attention goes down the back line of the body to the kidneys. Thinking about bringing in gratitude, calm, still alertness, and letting go of shock, of anxiety with the sound chew. 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 And again, 3 breaths, more if you're a little ahead, totally cool. Chew. Bringing your smile from the back line of your body towards the front. On the right, your liver, the seat of anger and forgiveness. So imagining breathing in forgiveness and exhaling anger with the sound shh, like quiet. Shh. Another 3 breaths here, more if you're a little ahead. Attention goes from the spleen up into that middle area of the chest, sternum, towards the heart, the actual beating muscle. Inhaling love, compassion, and letting go of hatred and hatred with the sound. One more breath seated, and then you'll be on your back. So if you could please walk your attention towards your spleen. It's a little bit above your stomach on the other side from your liver. So that would be the left side of your torso, the driver's side if you drive in the United States. And the bringing in is trust or faith, and the letting go is worry and rumination with that sound. And in your own time, in your own way, whatever path gets you there the best, make your way onto your back on the floor. You're also welcome, of course, to take this final breath seated if you prefer. So lying down on your back, if you're there, if you're seated, the sound is he, H-E-E-E-E-E. And the idea is that you're cooling the hot head and warming the cold feet. And as you start to now relax, letting your breath be, letting your body be, and it doesn't have to be soft in order to be. It can be ready. Your body can be prepared. Your body can be aware. Attention to your feet. Notice, see if you can notice from the inside. Attention to ankles, shins, your calves to soften and relax. Letting your knees go now. Can you relax your kneecaps, your thighs? It's okay if the answer is no today. It's genuinely, sincerely to see, just to notice. Hips and pelvis soften. Back, chest softens. Shoulders soften. Shoulder blades, arms, elbows, forearms, and hands to feel heavy now. Knowing you can move if you need to. Let your jaw soften, let your forehead, eyebrows, nose, lips. I'm here with you. Let's take another minute together to be together. And I promise you, I will guide you out and get you on your way. I know some of you are asleep. If you are asleep, enjoy. If you are not asleep, if you're with me, if you can hear my voice, please take a breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale. And in your own way, in your own time, taking your time to now please roll onto your side. And that's if you can hear me. If you're asleep, you stay asleep. If you can hear me, roll to your side. And then press yourself up to a seat. And for those who are awake right now, as in you're aware that you're in a room, if you would indulge me bringing your palms together to rub them. And if you have one palm or no palms, find a way to move right now. Just a little bit, just to start getting back into the world. And then if you've been rubbing your hands together to very gently, gentle, like you're touching a baby, just on your face, very gentle. Keeping your eyes out of the equation. So just into your face, shoulders, big stretch. You might find that you want to be sitting or standing now. If you're on the floor, all good. Hands to the legs. If you're unable to reach your legs, then move your legs. And if you have one leg or no legs, or the legs that you have don't move easily, just bring your attention there, or there might be. And then 3 breaths in through the nose and out of the mouth. Breathe in. Again, inhale. One more. Inhale. Thank you for your time and attention just now. Happy to provide context for the breathing and for some of the thinking behind these ways of using breath and attention to the body to transform emotions. Today, I wanted to share some of my daily practice. This I would call my peaceful practice. I am known to cut a rug as well. If you want to reach out to me, if you have any questions, if something comes up and you'd like to discuss it, my phone number, my actual phone number is 617-543-9642. I'm in the Eastern time zone. And my email address, if email works better for you, my email is hello@kdz.com. And KDZ is spelled KAYTEEZEE. So kdz.com. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If it's the morning for you right now, maybe move, dance a little bit. And if it's the evening, I wish you good rest. Bye.